1, round 1.
Well, well, well. Look who blinked first.
Yep, Trump paused those tariffs. You know, the same tariffs that he was absolutely certain about. The same tariffs that was going to save America from the evil Canadian economy.
But we can't get too comfortable. It's only a 30-day pause, because nothing says economic stability like countdown to more chaos.
28 days, 23 hours, and 37 minutes to go. Wow, what a relief, eh? It's like watching a bomb squad defuse a ticking time bomb and then saying, let's give it another month and see what happens.
And what happened when Trump threw his tariff tantrum? Well, the stock market took a nosedive faster than a Canadian snowbird who just realized their Florida condo fees tripled.
But then Trump panicked and hit the pause button because nothing scares him more than billionaires losing money.
This pause isn't a fix. It's just more confusion. And we know chaos is Trump's favorite economic strategy. The tariffs are good.
No, the tariffs are bad.
Canada's the problem.
No, China's the problem.
No, wait, it's windmills.
Seriously, the man governs like it's some kind of reality show.
And the problem is, it's real people, real jobs, and real businesses that are caught in the crossfire.
And guess who benefits most from all of this instability?
It's the guy selling the Made in China MAGA hats. This was never about border security, because we all know Canada is a hotbed of international crime.
Canada's out there sending hockey moms and maple syrup smugglers down to the USA. We're a total menace to society.
So let's stop pretending that Trump cares about border security. The guy isn't trying to keep people out of America. He's trying to take Canada for himself.
It was about getting his tiny hands on our vast resources. Canada has 20% of the world's fresh water supply.
If you think that Trump wouldn't try to pipe Canadian water to Arizona and sell it like Trump vodka, then you really haven't been paying attention.
Oh, and let's talk about critical minerals. The ones that are needed for batteries, electric cars, computers, and basically the entire tech industry. Gee, I wonder why all of the tech oligarchs lined up behind Trump.
And then there's the Northwest Passage. Melting ice equals more open shipping routes, which is trillions of dollars that are at stake.
It's the same reason he wants to use force to take back the Panama Canal. And the reason he wants to buy Greenland.
And remember, Trump is already trying to make a deal with Ukraine. Your minerals for our weapons. So what's stopping him from telling Canada, hey, your minerals for US protection or else?
Oh yeah, because being protected from a guy who keeps saying he wants to take over your country sounds like a really great deal.
So let's talk about our opposite man theory.
Trump always says the exact opposite of what he actually wants. Trump says, I don't need Canada.
Translation, he desperately needs Canada.
Trump says, without the U.S., Canada would have nothing.
Translation, without Canada, the U.S. is screwed.
The U.S. is dependent on Canada's auto manufacturing, minerals, agriculture, and of course, maple syrup.
Yeah, Trump has this weird obsession with Canada.
Yeah, for a guy who doesn't care about Canada, Trump cannot stop talking about Canada. We don't need Canada. Canada needs us.
Just like he didn't need Stormy Daniels, just like his casinos weren't gonna go bankrupt, and just like Mexico was definitely gonna pay for the wall. But if Trump is going to keep pulling this opposite man stunt, then Canada needs a leader who can actually push back.
And that is not pandering Polievre.
This is a guy who wants to be prime minister, but refuses to take a stance on literally anything important.
He's basically Canada's version of a Twitter reply guy. Just lots of chirping, but never actually saying what he'd do about anything.
Yep, he's always just reacting instead of acting.
He's great at dodging direct questions.
Or he says something like, oh, that's a great question, but let's talk about common sense.
The translation is, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I hope you're mad enough to vote for me anyway.
We also wanted to touch on the great betrayal of Doug Ford.
For one brief moment, we were so proud of Doug Ford. He was standing up to Donald Trump. He was cutting off their alcohol. He was going to cut off their power. I was like, I'm going to vote for this guy.
But then we got played. This guy went full WWE villain. He tricked us with the whole Canada's not for sale act. Then bam, he drops a hot mic bombshell.
Yes, he was caught on camera saying, I was happy Donald Trump became president.
Doug, you almost had us.
But he has always just flip-flopped to what he thinks the Canadians want to hear. I love Trump. I don't like Trump. I'll never waver on my support for Donald Trump. We have to cut off the energy to the Trump Tower.
Up here in Ontario, we're just stuck with flip-flopping Ford. But all is not lost. We have Charlie Angus, with the guts to go on CNN and say what nobody else will.
I just loved him on CNN. He did everything that everyone is thinking. He called Trump a convicted felon, a fraud, a sexual predator, and a con man.
And you're probably thinking, whoa, 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 you can't say that on CNN. But apparently, yes, you can, and he did, because all of that is true. He was out there with tons of energy and a ton of facts. And that's why Canada needs a leader who actually knows how to deal with Trump.
And that's why we need Mark Carney.
Mark Carney, this guy, in our opinion, is the answer. He's not just some random suit. He's a guy who actually understands global economics, unlike Trump.
Yeah, if Trump understood it, he wouldn't have gone bankrupt 5 times and bankrupt a casino. How do you bankrupt a casino? But most importantly, he understands Trump's fragile little ego.
And truthfully, that is the key. The Liberals know how to handle Trump. They've put on the kid gloves when it was necessary, but they also won't sell us out like Danielle Smith and Pierre Polievre would.
Bad Canadians. We saw you, Danielle, and we won't forget. You ran to Florida while skipping meetings with Canada. That's not cool, nor is it Canadian.
And pivoting Pierre, well, he's too busy pandering to his base to actually protect Canada.
He'll roll over the second Trump so much as winks at him. Come to Mar-a-Lago, PP.
Ooh, I got an invitation.
I do want to touch on Chrystia Freeland because I really do love her.
Watching Chrystia Freeland on CNN made me proud to be Canadian.
I loved it when she said, Canadians, we're proud, we're strong, and we're smart. That was such a dig at MAGA America.
And she knows how to deal with Trump. She got us through his first tariff war, and she's not afraid to push back. And honestly, she'd have my vote if she were the Liberal leader. But against pandering Pierre, I just don't think she could win. She has too much baggage from the Trudeau days.
So that's why we're doubling down on Mark Carney. If we want someone who can stand up to Trump without the Trudeau baggage, he's our guy.
Before we go any further, we need to say something important.
This isn't about all Americans. We know that only half of the country voted for Trump.
And we know that millions of Americans are fighting back against MAGA extremism every single day.
So to our friends in the U.S. who are standing up to Trump, we see you, we support you, and we are here in this fight with you.
You're going through so much more than we are right now. And we don't want you to feel like the world has turned its back on you, because it hasn't. So this isn't about attacking the U.S. It's about stopping Trump and his MAGA maniacs.
And we will fight with you because Canada stands with Americans against Trump.
It's time for Canadians to take matters into our own hands.
Because there is only one thing Trump actually cares about.
Money. And that's where we can hit him the hardest. All right, Canadians, we don't have an army. We don't have nukes. But you know what we do have?
Buying power! And the one thing that Trump cares about is his bank account.
I'm very rich, very rich. I make the best deals.
Yeah, well, not for long because Canada is one of America's biggest customers.
Canadians spend over $400 billion a year on US goods.
Yes, that's right. Canada is America's largest foreign buyer. That's more than Mexico, China, and the EU combined. Did you know that Canada is the largest purchaser of Kentucky bourbon and California wine in the world? From Tesla to Apple, Ford, and yes, even Starlink.
We have a lot of purchasing power and we're not afraid to use it.
The countdown has begun, and 30 days from now, the chaos will continue.
In the meantime, we can get out there and buy Canadian product. Here's a good list of things that you can substitute your American products with Canadian products. If Trump wants to play economic hardball, then we're gonna hit him where it counts. Because here's the deal. This is not about politics. It's about protecting our economy, our resources, and our damn sovereignty.
So Trump, if you're listening, Canada will never be the 51st state.
And if you try and take us down economically, we will hit back. Because if there's one thing Canadians know how to do, it's fight back without firing a single shot.
So if you're with us, spread the word, share this video, and tell a friend. And if you know a Maple MAGA,
educate them or tell them to f*** off.